On the summit of the world's highest mountain, David Tait and Phurba Tashi are attempting a world first, a double traverse of Everest. To set the record, climber David and Sherpa Phurba have to climb the mountain twice, once from Tibet and once from Nepal.
Hey, congratulations for your 12th summit, and David, congratulations for your second.
They reach the summit from the Tibetan north side of the mountain. Now, they're about to step over the top and descend the south side into Nepal. After a few days' rest, they'll head back the way they came. An incredible 2 summits in 10 days.
Phurba Tashi, do you copy?
Phurba knows the north side like the back of his hand, but he's never been on the south side. He's filming on Sherpa Cam and doesn't like what he sees.
Probably can't see anyone coming up on the south side.
Phurba had relied on safety ropes being in place to guide him down, but bad weather on the south side has pinned climbers down, and the ropes aren't there. He's having to ask directions. First, they must descend 200 vertical feet to the Hillary Step, the most dangerous and technical part of their climb. Then creep along a knife-edge ridge to the south summit and clamber down to the balcony on their way to High Camp 4. They're going to have to rope themselves together for the descent. If one falls, the other must try to save him. It's old-fashioned climbing. 2 men, a coil of rope, and the mountain. Time has come. David and Phurba are going over the top, into the unknown and out of radio contact. David and Phurba are now completely on their own. Stepping into the unknown, Phurba prays to the mountain gods.
Phurba Tashi, do you copy?
It's now hit or miss if anyone picks up their transmissions.
Phurba, do you copy?
They no longer have Russell on their side.
David, do you copy?
David and Phurba have been in the death zone since yesterday morning. They've been in radio contact with Russell every inch of the way. But now, they're in a radio shadow behind the mountain. On all Russell's expeditions, radio communication is a vital lifeline. And now, he can't contact the Traverse team. At Advanced Base Camp, Russell is working blind. He's forced to rely on Southside expedition leaders for news of his men.
Southside, Susie, copy.
But South Base Camp communications are notoriously bad.
Yeah, sorry, Susie, I can't hear you, but we'll call you again in maybe 1 hour's time.
His men are somewhere on Everest. He can't wait. Russell tries another expedition leader higher up the mountain.
Now, what was the name of the ship again, please, Russell?
Phurba Tashi.
Okay, right, same one.
If they're still alive, Phurba and David should be somewhere between the Hillary Step and the balcony, where this year's fixed ropes start. It's the deadliest stretch of the south route on Everest. After 12 hours of non-stop climbing, David and Phurba have finally reached this year's safety ropes.
No need to reply. Stay on this frequency until further notice.
They're just above Camp 2.
This man just saved our life. Drinks and biscuits. Half an hour out of camp, just what we needed.
So which camp are you going down?
We're going down to Camp 2 on the south side. I didn't believe it was such a long route.
Since summiting at 6 o'clock this morning, Phurba and David have descended 1.5 vertical miles down the toughest part of the south side route.
It was a whole new experience when we crossed from the summit and we had no ropes. I can honestly say I felt some nerves there. Honestly say.
They've burnt more than 15,000 calories, 4 times as much as a marathon runner.
I don't know about your legs, but my legs don't feel like they belong to me anymore. I didn't believe it was such a long route.
Did you say anything to Big Boss?
Oh, don't tempt me.
Tomorrow, they'll make their way down to base camp, where they'll rest for 3 days before turning around and doing it all again. Tonight, they'll sleep at Camp 2.
So all in all, we've walked 6, 12, 18, 19 hours.
19 hours. Oh,
That's a lot.
it's a lot.
It's Russell's first chance to speak to David and assess his physical and mental state. But David's about to drop a bombshell.
You know, fluffing out. Yeah, it's not too bad.
On the south side, David's made his decision.
Duct tape. No,
He's not coming
Right,
back.
don't worry.
All that's left now is to organize his trip home.
Yeah, you keep breaking up too. There's just stuff at my tent at ABC, my tent
BC, and also the orange poker case. That's it. That can just be shipped to the hotel later.
ASAP. I'll be grateful.
No reasons, no explanation, but the world's first double traverse is off.
For me, I'm shocked because David's very organised. He's very directed in every single decision he makes. And I think it's because he probably had a very good chat with his wife and his family on the summit. And he suddenly thought, it's not worth the risk. No mountain's worth risking your life.
My first reaction was like, well, at least give it a couple days, you know, wait 2-3 days, you know, then see how you feel and then come back. You know, stick to the plan. And your plan was always to go over and come back. And he didn't do that. So for me, it's kind of hard to swallow. You know, why wouldn't you wait?
The reason I decided not to go back up again with Phurba was I was continually being confronted with evidence that he was superior in pretty much every way. We'd done the traverse equally, but from that point on, if we had gone back for a second time, he would have had to defer to me at some point, simply because I paid for it. Everything aches.
When they woke up at Camp 2, Phurba was fully recovered, but David was still exhausted.
Oh, what a long way that was.
Yeah. Have some drink, breakfast,
Yeah.
then you go down.
Yeah, let me go down, yeah. Thank God. We'd reached the summit. I could see the situation hypothetically in my mind. I'd tap him on the shoulder, or he'd stand back. I'd stand on the summit, and then I'd say, yeah, I was the first person. But it wouldn't be a legitimate first person. It's not really authentic. It would have been a fraud, frankly, because everybody knows that Phurba's the best Sherpa, one of the strongest men out there. Everybody would have known he would have had to have let me go first. I gave up on it. It's a misguided belief.